Hi friends, I'm Scott Giles and welcome to Saturday at 2:30. Every Saturday afternoon at 2:30 here on Facebook Live, I shoot a short video podcast and then I edit this and put it up on my YouTube channel. I'm a life coach and a consulting hypnotist, and the topics I choose relate to those two disciplines or any other topic that actually catches my mind. Uh, I'm actually trained originally as a philosopher. My first two degrees from the University of Connecticut are in philosophy. And today I want to talk about an ancient Greek philosophy called Epicureanism. And now there were actually three overlapping ancient Greek philosophies: Epicureanism, skepticism, and Stoicism. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to cover all of these. There is no one name for these philosophies, although they all overlap and are much more similar than they're different. Though increasingly in modern times, Stoicism is coming to be the blanket term that contains the Epicurean and skeptical propositions. Now, we are not talking about spirituality here or theology. This is a philosophy, a way of understanding the world. Now, it was founded, Epicureanism, in about 307 before the Common Era by a philosopher named Epicurus in Athens. Uh, Now, what he argued is that the great good in life is to seek moderate pleasures in order to achieve tranquility and a measure of freedom from fear and from pain, at least as much as one can be free of fear and pain. But the idea was to seek such modest pleasures as you could have and then to unapologetically enjoy them. Now, Christian polemicists in the first century hated Epicureanism. It was a very popular philosophy, and Constantine actually suppressed it because he felt it was incompatible with Christianity. They caricatured it by saying that it was really hedonism. It's not. Hedonism is the belief of seeking pleasure at all costs, seeking ever greater amounts of pleasure. That's not what Epicureanism is about. Epicureanism is about savoring what you can legitimately enjoy. Epicurus himself was actually celibate, let alone seeking pleasure, although celibacy is not something I recommend. In many ways, the Epicurean philosophy is very similar to Buddhist philosophy regarding mindfulness. There's almost a one-to-one match. These are almost identical ideas that evolved separately at very different times and places, but they are almost virtually the same concept. The idea is to enjoy such delights as are legitimately possible, and don't let the enjoyment of the moment be corrupted by fear or worry. As an example of my Epicureanism, I've got a lot of professional responsibilities. I'm a consulting hypnotist. I do a lot of work with medical cases. So I'm often working with people who are in a very dark and scary place. Uh, I also have political responsibilities, and just as a citizen, I'm concerned about the political situation we're facing here in the United States in 2020. However, while all of that is true, I am still going to enjoy my Christmas dinner. I'm making what will be a magnificent prime rib. I will serve this with a handcrafted soda that I will make. I will enjoy this meal in the company of my beloved wife and partner of 42 years. And I will probably watch one of the favorite Christmas videos that we have, very likely a Christmas Carol. It's a film we enjoy a lot, or storyline we enjoy a lot. And I'm not going to let the worries that I have corrupt that island of conviviality and affection and enjoyment. That's Epicureanism. Enjoy what you appropriately can. Now, there is a classic serenity prayer created by the Protestant theologian Reinhold Niebuhr. God grant me the wisdom to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that really is what Epicureanism teaches. You don't fret about the things you can't change, but you enjoy what is available to you to enjoy. Now, the Epicureans got in a lot of trouble in the ancient world. They were denounced as being an atheistic philosophy because they didn't depend on God in their philosophical thought. And in the ancient world, atheism was a capital crime. It's one of the things Socrates was accused of, which is why the Athenians put him to death. So the Epicureans kind of worked around this, and so did the skeptics and the Stoics. What they said is that the gods exist. They're just totally uninterested in the human community. They're off in their own world or their own universe, and they don't interfere. They may be admirable, but they don't interfere in the human community. So Epicureanism, Stoicism, and skepticism are technically theistic, but practically atheistic. In fact, Epicurus himself promulgated a paradox as a way of arguing for the fact that the gods or God wasn't actually involved intimately in human life. And what he was pointing to is what theologians today call the problem of theodicy. If God is good, why does evil exist? Why do bad things happen? And the way Epicurus put this is, if God is able to prevent evil and is willing to prevent evil, evil shouldn't exist. But it does. So, if God is willing to prevent evil, but isn't able to, then God's not omnipotent. If God is able to prevent evil, but isn't willing to do that, then God is malevolent. And if God is neither willing nor able to prevent evil, in what sense is that being God? Epicurus was a polytheist, so he would say gods. But this question of theodicy is something that theologians have wrestled with for many, many centuries. Lots of answers have been attempted, some more successful than others. If you want to know my own personal thoughts on the subject, I will refer you to Rabbi Harold Kirshner's book, Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. But basically, what I think Epicurus was pointing to when he said that the gods are off on their own thing is that it is spiritually and psychologically immature to expect something outside of yourself to solve your problems. Your problems, whatever they are, however they're caused, including by bad luck, are yours. And you've got to take responsibility for dealing with them in whatever way you can. So that was his position. And he would then go on to say, but in the midst of dealing with all of these problems, there are going to be times when appropriate pleasures are available to you, and you should enjoy them and savor them and not apologize for them. That's the Epicurean line. Enjoy what is there for you to enjoy, and don't fret about the things that are outside of your control. In a way, this reflects my own practice philosophy as a consulting hypnotist and as a community minister in my denomination. The very motto of my practice is take control of your life through the power of your mind. And that's what I teach, using hypnosis to help people use the unconscious power of their own mind to take control of their life. So there are lots of things to savor. There is lots of freedom from fear and also from pain. Not all of it, but a lot. And you do this yourself with the power of your own mind. And in the process, you have a good time, or as good a time as circumstance and fate will allow. So whatever ills afflict you, there will be moments of peace and moments of pleasure. Don't ignore them. Don't discount them. Don't forget to savor them. And that's what Epicureanism truthfully means. Hey, thank you for your time and attention. I'll be back next week talking about something else. And what I'll be talking about next week is actually going to be about skepticism, one of the ancient Greek philosophies that I think is very relevant to today's world. And the week after that, I'll take up Stoicism and then bring all three of these philosophies, Epicureanism, skepticism, and Stoicism, together to describe what I would kind of regard as my own kind of life philosophy. Now, not theology, not spirituality, philosophy, an understanding of the world. Thank you much. If I can be of help to you, please feel free to reach out. We have a Patreon channel for those who want a deeper experience of our work. Please check out my website. There's lots of material there. If you're watching this on social media, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. It does help me if you share my videos, so I ask you to do that. Take care and stay well.